Hello and welcome to another video. On this one we are on Formula 1 Manager 2023. Let's have a look and see what this game is all about. It's only just come out and this is the intro. I never played Formula 1 2022 Manager, so this is going to be really interesting to see what this game is all about. Haven't got a clue, we're going into it blind. What I've done is the first sort of intro and first race and qualifying. So there you go, we're
with a global audience and drama
just
to
having a look at the intro now, and
as
I've condensed this down. It's quite a long video, but it's about 40 minutes, but it covers everything up to and including the first race, just so I would let you see what it's all about. As I say, I'm going in completely blind, so bear with me and we'll see what happens. Lovely intro though, as you can see, and now we get to pick what team we're going to be. Obviously they're all there, you can click on these and it gives you information about the team, the drivers and so forth and so forth. And I think the different teams you select, you'll have different challenges. If you pick a top team, you know, like Red Bull or Ferrari, they'll expect you to keep winning, whereas if you pick a lower team, then obviously they don't expect you to win, but they expect you to improve. I think that's the idea behind it. So on this one, we're just looking, just like I say, just generally looking through, but we're going to go for Haas. I do like Haas, so we're going to give them a whirl. Obviously they're a lower end team, so I don't expect us to do well, and especially seeing as we haven't got a clue what we're actually doing in the game at all. I have to say, you do get a helper. There's a lady that helps you. There you go, so she's just popped up now. It's quite good actually, the help they give. You only get it for up to the first sort of race, and then it's down to you, but it is handy because there's so much. If you look along the bottom there, that's all the menus you've got: home, inbox, calendar, circuits, race cars, drivers, staff, scouting, facilities, board, finances and standings. Obviously I haven't got a clue how any of them work, so we're just going to have to sort of click through, and she's giving us a bit of advice there, as you can see, that pops up from time to time, and we'll just have to see what's what.
You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. You'll always be able to see what the team's next race is from. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in. The board are the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. Don't forget to check in with the board often. And
so here we've decided to jump straight in and try and make some parts and better parts of the car. Again, we don't know what we're doing, but I thought we'd give it a go. So I think here we're going to see what parts we can develop. I've got no idea what I should be developing, just going into it blind, but I thought obviously I want to try some of these bits. So we're going to try and design and research a so here we go, we're going to go on to the research is locked, so we're going to design some side pods and see how that all works. So as you can see from the screens we're clicking on, we click on design, and we're going to pick side pods. I don't know why, just thought it was something to do,
Each
and
car part
we're
we
going to
design
try
will
and
impact
design
different
these. You then
areas
get
of the
these
car's
extra
design.
screens come up, as you
But
can
certain
see,
parts require
where it
greater
says drag
testing is
reduction
also
and
an
airflow
important
and
step
stuff
in
like that,
designing an
and how many hours of aerodynamic testing you're going to do. So you've got CFD man hours and wind tunnel hours. Again, not got a clue what I'm doing here, so we just basically selected a load of random stuff, probably completely wrong, but let's just see when we finally build these side pods. Hopefully we'll have an improvement on the car, but as I say, we don't actually know what we're doing here, so there you go.
You can direct the engineering team to focus on aerodynamic car parts, designing air. For each design project, you also need to decide how many engineers you want working on it, and what engineering approach they should take.
And we can confirm that, as you can see, which is what we're going to do now. It's going to cost £1 million by the looks of it, and it's going to start the design project, and it gives you a rough estimate of how many days. It's going to be 27 days. Obviously, I think once you've designed them, you've then actually got to manufacture them, and that may be, you know, well, that's going to obviously take some days as well. And once it's manufactured, then obviously you can fit it to the cars. Here we're looking at facilities. As you can see, we've got a factory, design tunnel, design centre, wind tunnel, CFD simulator, suspension simulator, and car test. I presume you can upgrade all of these, but again, it costs money. So wind tunnel, it's 10 million there to upgrade. Don't know what you should be doing first, but we're just going to upgrade some stuff, and hopefully it will make a difference down the end. I wasn't really mindful of my money, which is probably not a good thing, because I just spent loads of it here upgrading a team hub. Don't know what that is. Again, we're just blowing money basically. Scout department we've upgraded. Race simulator, we haven't got one, so I thought it was important that we built one. Whether it is or not, I don't know. So there you go, we're building through that now. And we're just working along those tabs along the bottom. The woman does give you advice, which is quite good, especially because it's quite a lot to take in. But I'm not holding out too much hope for, you know, the first race, qualifying, practice, whatever, because we don't know what we're doing. But in this video, we will cover it all, like I say, and we'll do practice, qualifying, and the race. At least it gives you an idea of the first things that you've got to do, and we're gradually going through upgrading stuff, you know, memorabilia room, tour centre. Again, no idea what they do, but let's just do it. Okay, so we basically skipped through to the weekend. First race up is Bahrain, I believe.
A very warm welcome to you.
I think it's Bahrain.
It sure does feel good to be back.
There we go. And hopefully the lady will give us some ideas of what to expect at our first Grand Prix.
Here on zero, ahead of another year's battle for glory. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. There's now a rookie on the McLaren team, which is both an opportunity and a challenge. Now let's get the weekend underway.
Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. A normal race weekend starts with 3 practice sessions, a knockout qualifying session, and then the race itself. Later in the season, we'll encounter some different formats, such as a sprint weekend. Once you're ready, we can move on. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. The team will put together a run plan for the session, but you can review and make changes to it. Bear in mind that tyre usage during... Feel free to look at the run plan and the different options available. Then we can move on when you're ready.
So we had a nice little intro there, and this is like setting up the car, the tyres. You've got car parts set up again. We don't really know what we're doing, but we're going to hopefully fudge our way through. Now this gauge on the right hand side, the driver satisfaction setup, those lines, we'll come back to that later on. That's how you set up the car and make it quicker, but it's not simple. Well, it's not simple anyway. But those the blue gauges on the right hand side, we will come back to that, and I'll mention that later on. So we're just really clicking on things to learn and look at what we're actually supposed to be doing. So just bear with me, we're being a bit slow, I know, but we're just looking at options so we've got some idea of what we're supposed to be doing. So basically when we get to the sessions, you can skip sessions and allow the computer to do it, or the simulator to do it. But obviously we want to do as much as we can, but I think the reason they ease you in is so that it's not too much all in one go. So we're now going to go progress again, and there we go. So you've got manage practice. So in this case she's saying let the team do the practice, we'll just do qualifying and the race. So we're actually going to skip, we're going to allow the team to do all the practice sessions. I think there's 3 practice sessions. So we're going to get them to do all of that. So basically practice 1, 2 and 3 the team are going to do. We're not going to touch that at all. We will do that in other videos, but for now we'll just leave that. So that was after the practice results, and now we're going to skip on to qualifying.
Hello and welcome to the much anticipated qualifying session.
Remember, we lose the slowest 5 drivers at the end of Q1, another 5 at the end of Q2, and Q3 will set the top 10 positions.
Now Karun, how do you think Zhou Guanyu will be as he heads into this session?
Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3...
Here we are, you can see we're in Q1. You can see a bit where the track temperature is and so on. You can pick your tyres that you're going to go out on qualifying. Obviously you need to save some tyres to race. I'm not sure how many I need to save or what I need to save. So yeah, that again is going to be a learning curve, but we'll see when we get there. So that gauge again on the right hand side, you can see it in the middle, should I say, those blues. You want to adjust those white lines into the blue bits, and you can see bad, great, good, great, good. Obviously you want them to be good or exceptional. That's all done in the practice setups, which when I do my next race, I'll do the practice setups. So obviously you want to get the car as good as you can. The happier you get the car, the better the drivers will be happy with the car. Obviously we didn't really know what we were doing, so yeah, we'll, like I said, in another race we'll cover that. But we're sending them out on Q1 now, and again, as you can see, Magnussen is exiting the pit lane, and Hulkenberg will send that in a little while. So they're just doing the old radio checks and stuff like that. And we'll take over control of the car, so we don't actually drive the car, but we can give orders. See where it says take manual control, we can actually take over control of the car. And again, I'm just flicking through tabs to see exactly how they work, because obviously, like I said, I'm blind to this. So we're going to take over control of the car, and hopefully we can then get him to go faster. There you go. So we're now taking over control. We'll have control until he pits again, and you can do that for both drivers, obviously. So once we take control, which we will eventually, there you go. So you've got there on the bottom left there with Magnussen, just reconfiguring because I think we changed his tyres. So and Hulkenberg's out. So you can see on the bottom left right there we've got pace, fuel and ERS. You can set them to drive aggressively and so on, which is what we're doing here, to make sure that on their fast lap they obviously drive really fast. You can speed the game up, obviously. Magnussen there in 5th, but he's dropping down. Hulkenberg is out, but he hasn't set a lap time yet. Obviously we're getting up to speed. You can skip through, and as you can see, we can see all the views. That view's particularly good of the driver view there. And yeah, so here we're just gonna watch what happens. Like I say, you can speed it up, and obviously in later races we will speed it up when we need to, because we know what we're doing. At the moment we don't. So graphically the game's not bad, and I have to say that woman that gives you the help at the start, although it's a bit annoying, it is good because you wouldn't have a clue what you're doing otherwise.
Just go a bit slower.
Copy.
Let's recharge a bit.
Okay, copy.
Okay, and as you can see there, Kevin Magnussen was in 20th, so he's out of qualifying, obviously. Driver eliminated. He wasn't quick enough, probably due to setup, because we haven't done it right. So that's just one of those things, unfortunately. And then again we're back to this screen where you can let the team take over, or you can qualify yourself.
Dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap. The sky tonight is mostly clear, with only a few clouds. Nothing to worry about for now, but let's see how the situation unfolds.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to deal with the pressure here in Bahrain?
A single set of tyres will wear down completely before the end of the race. So we're going to need to make at least one pit stop per driver to change tyres at some point. Don't forget, each pit stop taken will add time to that lap. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. You should consider setting
Okay, so we have skipped on a bit, so we're ready to start the race, and here is where you set your strategy. As you can see there at the top there, car 1, car 2, no strategy, so this is where you're setting them. A, B and C there are 3 strategies that the team have suggested, so you can pick one of those quite easily if you want to, or you can make your own strategy. Again, I suggest you play around with it, because unless you do, you're never going to know, are you? So you've got those presets, like I say, or you can set your own. So we're going to have a try and set our own, see how difficult it is. So I think you just click on a plus there on the bottom left, and hopefully we will in a sec. There we go. So that tells you what tyres we're starting on. So there we select what tyre we want to start on. It's hard, medium or soft. And then you add a new stint below, and you can change what tyre you then change to. Sorry we're a bit slow with our selections. So there you can see, starting on hards, and then I think it was around lap 38 where the hards are worn out. That angle going down is the tyre wearing out. We've then put him on soft, so he's got a hards first stint, and then he'll finish the race on softs. I have no idea if that's what we should be doing or what, but we're going to try that and see what happens. And obviously you can play around, you can put your drivers on different stints, which is obviously a good idea depending on where they are started on the grid. I suppose if you're near the front you want to be soft maybe to start with. If you're further back then I don't think it matters. As it is, we were in 20th, Magnussen was in 20th, and I think Hulkenberg was in 10th. So I just tried to do different strategies for both of them. Whether that will pay off and work, who knows, but as you can see I'm just playing around with them.
You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage.
Here in Sakir, the
Okay, so
floodlights
we
are on,
moved on to
and
the
it's nearly
race.
time for 57
So the
laps
race is
around
about
the
to
Bahrain
get
International
underway.
Circuit.
And again, obviously, you can speed
Our
up the
attention
race. You
shifts
don't have to
Lewis
watch it all.
Hamilton and what he can
I will
produce in
skip
this
some
race.
anyway, obviously.
That's a really strong starting
So we've just got
position
this
for them
good
in
bit,
P5.
and then I think
They just need to keep
the
it cool and
race will get
sensible in the
underway.
race.
So yeah, again,
This should certainly
getting
be
to
a
this
good one,
point
folks.
wasn't too tricky. Like I said, I'm not holding out much hope. It's probably going to be
And this is
disastrous, but here we go.
The
We're rolling
Bahrain
into the
Grand
race,
Prix.
and we've got lights. Here we go.
And it's lights out.
And
And
we're
away
off.
we
So you
go.
can control both cars. You can see Magnussen's on the left there, Hulkenberg's on the right. We're focusing on Magnussen at the moment, but you can flip that over quite easily with just sort of one key, so we can watch Hulkenberg as well. We can also alter the setup, like the pace, the fuel, and the ERS for each driver. You don't have to be watching the drive to do that. You can do that without. But again, I'm learning how to speed up the game and also change the camera views, because there's quite a lot of different camera views that you can use. Let's just look, and we can see the strategy that we'd set for it, so we know when he's going to come in. Obviously, by attacking like we are now with Hulkenberg, his tyres, their temperature 104 on the bottom right, they will go up, so you have to keep an eye on that, because obviously if they get the tyres too hot, they will wear quicker, and also there's a chance of spinning,
They can adjust their ERS
and your ERS, you will lose that. So there's different settings there to harvest it, to get more, to top it up.
Some will focus on deploying,
And these are things that you've got to manage constantly throughout the race for both drivers. You've got to keep an eye on them, obviously, I would imagine. Hulkenberg's currently in 11th, and K-Mag there in 20th. But let's see how this race unfolds.
Let's use that K1. Plenty of K1 available when you need it.
It always pays to talk tactics with the drivers. There are several other unique situational tactics.
Okay, you got this.
Now it's dangerous. Have to take averting action.
Keep digging.
Don't forget that even if you have you can keep track of individual tyre wear and condition here. Each tyre compound has an overheating tyre will wear faster, where oversea powered aerodynamic parts can suffer damage of differing levels.
Okay, we're out of the DRS.
Yeah.
And as you can see now, Hulkenberg's tyres are really hot, 128
Charge
degrees
on.
on them.
Charge on.
So they're
Okay.
absolutely melting. Obviously we need to bring him back, slow him down a bit,
Okay, more lifting
and
coast,
get
please.
those temperatures down.
Copy.
And obviously while we're doing this, you can see K-Mag on the left
We
there,
need
you
to
can
back
see
off.
his temperatures as well.
Copy.
So you constantly have to flick between the drivers to get their settings right. And obviously fuel, you have to manage your fuels. Obviously you can burn fuel, but obviously you don't want to run out. You need enough fuel to finish the race. So once again, you've got to be careful. You've got to constantly manage that throughout the race. We're just going to go on board now with Hulkenberg, as he's right behind the Tsunoda, I think it is. And you can obviously tell them to overtake. You obviously have got other settings which tells them to be aggressive with their overtakes or defend if they're in front. So there's all different little settings that, again, when I started this I didn't know, but will gradually get better. Anyway, let's leave some of this going.
Okay, we're out of DRS. Okay, charge on.
Set up mode push now, please, Kev.
Copy. I don't see my tabs.
Okay, back off. Try to do some lifting coast and then focus on apex speed. Okay, charge on, charge on. Let's add the lifting coast back in. Yeah, just go a bit slower.
That was dangerous. Had to take averting action.
Just do the best you can. We need to back off.
So as you can see, we've skipped on to lap 30. Here you can check the strategy, so that was the strategy you set. If you want to edit it or change it during the race, obviously you can. That's not a problem. Obviously we'll have to work out how to do that, but you can do it. You can call a car into the pits at any time. We're on lap 33 now, so we have skipped a fair way. K-Mag is in 18th and Hulkenberg is in 16th. So we're not doing too great here. I don't think my strategy was right. I think we did too many pit stops, but not too sure about that. We'll see how it pans out.
Perez has crossed the line first.
Okay, we've skipped on to the end, as you can see, and the leaders have finished. I think we're just coming up to the line now. Just a couple of things to discuss. So when you're in the race, if your car doesn't overtake or there's a crash, you do get an option of a replay. You just hit triangle and it will replay the event that's happened, and there's like a news feed at the top, so you can actually get to see what's actually happened, which is quite good. And obviously this screen here, you can see all the positions of the cars. Obviously we've just finished. Terrible race for us, but that was bound to be the case with our first one. But I think you see the podium runners, and you'll see, you know, who come first, second and third, probably on the podium. There they are, celebrating. Unfortunately it's not us, but hopefully we'll do better in another race. Generally, quick roundup of the game. Yes, I really like it. That help at the start was amazing. I think without that we would have been in a right sort of state. So I think we didn't do bad, considering we didn't know what we were doing. Graphically, I think the game's okay. Bearing in mind it's a simulation, a business simulation, more, you know, you're the team principal.
Now, Karun, I'd be really
So
keen
it's
to
not
know, how do you think
supposed to be
the
a
Hazard
racer.
will be
I think there's a
reflecting on
lot
today's
more settings we can play around with, and hopefully a lot more. The game's a lot more in depth than I've just covered here, but I just wanted you to see it. I think anyone can play this game. You know, with the guidance you get at the start, there's more than enough to get you in, as we've just proved with our practice, qualifying and first race. Hopefully we can improve from here, and I will do some more. I just wanted to get this video out just so you could see what the game was about, and if it was interesting to you. Obviously we've returned back to base, and as you saw there, something's been built. So we, you know, hopefully our facilities at base are progressing, and there you go, we're going through the emails which have come in after the race to discuss what the situation is and where we go from here. And then you've got however long you've got on the calendar to your next race. In between that, you can train the pit crew, which obviously we need to do, hopefully improve the car. If your car's damaged, you might need to buy more parts so you're ready for the next race, and stuff like that. So very in depth, really liking it myself. I hope you do too, and I will post hopefully an improvement video of where we've managed to improve, and we'll show a bit more of the car testing on practicing, I think, because we didn't really cover that in this one. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. Hope you liked it. I know it sounded a bit new. Hit the like if you did, and I'll see you in another.